the Broncos. You guys know I love the Broncos. They've decided to sort of take over the headlines to kick off this week, and I love it. They dropped the new unis yesterday afternoon. They're returning the Orange Crush throwies. And, you know, yeah, cool. I don't really think much of them. They look great. Then a few hours later, this was not the news any longer. They make the trade to land Zach Wilson in a late-round pick swap with the Jets. So he's with Stidham and DiNucci. Those are the quarterbacks on Denver's roster currently. And I have a couple thoughts here. One, I don't think this changes much as far as draft strategy. It's a smart move. If there's a quarterback, it sort of like takes the pressure off. If there's a quarterback they love, and we know Sean Payton's like, I want to fall in love. I'm looking for somebody to fall in love with. If that exists, and there's one that makes it past the number 2 overall pick, sure, I see Payton, company, they're going to move up. They're going to try to make that swing. But it makes them a little less desperate, right? It puts them in a more power position in this relationship dynamic of dating and landing the guy in speed dating, and not having to force something that might not have the love hearts cupiding around Sean Payton's head. So listen, it was a disastrous stint for Zach in New York. Disastrous. Whatever you want to say, he has talent. He's got that talent. He's got that. Listen, Sean Payton did the same thing with Jameis Winston. Nobody should be surprised about this move. A lot of people taking victory laps about knowing this was coming. Sure, it wasn't that difficult, right? It's what made him the 2nd overall pick, the talent. And, you know, Sean Payton's got the bravado. He's got the, dare I say, healthy ego to say, I can get the best out of this guy. I can mold this character. We saw flashes of it, like what you just saw when he went toe-to-toe to Mahomes. I remember those games, those moments. They're appealing. They're sort of scintillating. You sort of got, they're appealing and attractive. If anyone can do it, it is Sean Payton. And guess what? Here's the thing I want you to know. Zach's 24. There's the stat I want you to chew on this morning. That is the same age as my guest yesterday, Bo Nix, and the same age as Michael Penix. There's still room for him to grow and develop. We're not going to write his career off. We love a second chance. We love a second act. And I think Zach Wilson in this system can have it if he's even the starter, if he's even the guy. That being said, it is an uphill battle, for sure. And I've said this before, I'm going to reiterate. Kerry Collins, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, the only first-round quarterbacks to come back and lead another team to a playoff appearance after that team that drafted them decided to say deuces. That's it. That's it. In the entire world, in the entire NFL history, that's the list. So are the odds with Zach Wilson? No. But Kerry Collins, Sean Payton, like, he can do it, okay? And if there's a situation that can make it work, it is with that maniac in Denver. And then, if we're going to hit the zoom out button, and we shall, let's go a little macro vibes here. As far as what this means for the rest of the game, check this out. Of the 5 first-round quarterbacks we saw drafted in 2021, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 have been traded less than 3 years after they had their names called by Sir Goodell. Trevor Lawrence, the last man standing, and I think that's telling of a couple of things. First, I think it's clear teams are giving their first-round quarterbacks a shorter leash than ever. If it's not going well, there's no longer this feeling of, we have to give it our all. Let's go to couples therapy. Let's make it work. Like, no, you just kind of say, all right, didn't really work. Let's wipe this slate clean and, make sure this doesn't set us back as much as it used to. And that's good for teams. I do got to say, like, the empathy with these rookie quarterbacks, I have a lot for them right now. There's a little patience. There's less room than ever to allow young quarterbacks to develop any longer. And we're not going to see, I'm afraid, my fear is that we might not see as many Jordan Love sitches around the league, okay? Even though it looks like it's working out pretty damn well for the Packers. I mean, even the draft a guy and let him sit a year to develop strategy, that is like, I literally by peers, by compatriots in this business for years have been called, okay, grandma, like that's the old way of doing it. Like that doesn't happen anymore. You got to start, you got to make an impact right away, windows, blah, 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 blah. It's not being done. It's not in vogue. It is not cool. There's no TikTok trend that is like pumping up hot right now, trending upwards of like a quarterback sitting his ass behind a Sam Darnold, behind a Kirk Cousins to develop and get done. It just doesn't exist. It's all about instant results, like everything these days. And I get it to an extent, but this grandma thinks it's a disservice to some of these quarterbacks. And I know, I just pointed out that there have only been 3 former first-round picks to have successful second acts, and that's bleak 182. But, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to become more of a thing going forward because teams are moving on so quickly. Before, we've seen guys like a Trey Lance or Fields, even get a chance to reach their full potential. They're bounced from team to team. I don't think it's a coincidence that we saw a successful example with one Baker Mayfield, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see one of those 2021 quarterbacks resurface in a major way over the next few years. Those are the trends that I'm interested in looking into. Okay.